Let's review how to do linear equations. The very first question says, state the slope and the y-intercept for this. So let's do that. Let's figure out what the slope is, what the y-intercept is. Best way to do this is to put it in slope-intercept form. Don't make this one harder than it is. This is a very straightforward problem. Just basic review as we begin. We're going to subtract the 6x from both sides. And then we're going to divide by 5. Divide every term by 5. Cancel, cancel. Y equals negative 6/5. And then minus, almost put plus, minus 8, whoops, x, forgot my x there. And so we need to determine the slope and the y-intercept. You've seen this before, you know what you're doing. This right here would be my slope. My slope is negative 6/5. My y-intercept, also known as b, would be negative 8. Okay, straightforward, easy, we got this, let's move on. The next question says, what is the equation of the line that passes through the coordinate 8, negative 5, it looks like underscore 5, let's try that again, 8, negative 5, and has an x-intercept of 2, just plain positive 2. So the x-intercept is at 2. Well, what I'm really going to do is get two coordinates out of this. So coordinate number 1 is staring me in the face. Coordinate number 2 is actually kind of staring me in the face as well, and it's this. If my x-intercept is 2, then I know I pass through the point 2 comma something. Well, if I'm dealing with basically any graph and I have an intercept, then I know the other coordinate is 0. So if I'm going to cross the x-axis at 2, 1, 2, then whatever this line looks like, which is not going to be that, but if it looks like whatever, this is going to be 2 comma 0. So there we go. We now know the slope. No, I don't. No, we don't. We now know, getting ahead of myself, we now know a point and another point. So let's take those 2 points and let's find the slope. Now we'll get the slope. So the slope of these 2 points, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, 0 minus negative 5. I'm going to go fast, 2 minus 8. So 5 over negative 6. Good for us. We now know the slope. Let's take that slope and let's figure out the entire equation of a line. I like to use point-slope form. This is something that's going to come in very handy later. You may have used it in previous classes. You may not have. I am not sure. Writing very faintly. I'm not sure how well that shows up, so let me try that again. Let me get a different color marker. What I want to do is figure out the equation of the line. There we go. That's how you do it right there. Using everything I know. Well, I know the slope, and the slope is negative 5 over 6. And I know a point. And that point is going to be x1, y1. x1 comma y1. And you can use this one or you can use this one. It really doesn't matter. These numbers are smaller. Let's go with that one. So the x is 2, so x minus 2. And the y is 0. So y minus 0, which is kind of pointless. And we could leave it like that, but I'm going to go a little bit further. We'd like our answers to be in slope-intercept form as much as possible. And so we have negative 5 over 6, x, and then we'll multiply these two together. So positive, and then I would have 10 over 6, which of course reduces to be 5 over 3. So there we go. There's the first two problems. Let's keep moving. The next problem, as I smudge my board, the next problem says, what is the equation of a line that is parallel to this? So parallel to 2y plus x minus 2 equals 0. And it also passes through the coordinate 4, negative 9. I want the equation of the line that meets these criteria. So let's erase some stuff over here. There we go. All right. I need to know the slope and I need to know a point in order to use point-slope form. Let's write that formula one more time. So y minus y1, I say one more time, we're going to use this formula a lot in this class. And I mean a lot. You're going to just, it's going to be a reflex. Point-slope form, we get a point, x1, y1, we have a slope, m. So what I want to do is plug in everything I know. Sometimes I just go ahead and get started whether I know what I'm doing or not, whether I know all the information or not. And what I do know is that I have a coordinate 4, -9. So y minus -9, I don't know m yet, and x minus 4. So here's what just happened. I plugged in the 4 and the -9 for x1 and y1, okay? But I don't know the slope. Well, parallel lines have the same slope. Okay, you've heard this before. So if two things are parallel, like that, they're going to have the exact same rise and the exact same run. So we are going to be looking for the slope of this line. Bring it down here, bring the work down here. And the best way to do it is to put it in slope-intercept form. So 2y equals -x plus 2, moving everything except the y to this side. We're going to divide by 2, -1/2 x. Plus 2 divided by 2, which is 1. Don't really care what the y-intercept is of this line because I don't need the y-intercept of that line. I need the slope because I'm going to use the slope here. And what I really need is just, well, like I said, the slope, which is -1/2. How do you know it's -1/2? Haha, I've already said so. It's parallel. So the answer is going to be a line that has the same slope as this one. And we found the slope of this one. So let's keep walking. -1/2, there we go. And we're going to solve this for y, put it in slope-intercept form. So y equals -1/2 x. Let's do 2 steps at once, okay? Plus 2. So +2 minus 9, -7. Okay. The next question is similar, only it says the equation of a line through a specific point that is perpendicular. Now perpendicular. See, parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines, well, they don't. So let's write the problem down. Pause this if you need to copy something. I don't know why I erased this form, point slope form, but I did. I'll have to write it again. Okay, so we want something that is perpendicular to 5y plus 3x minus 1. 5y plus 3x minus 1 equals 0. And it passes through a specific point that they gave us, which was 6, -9. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with what we know. That's a good place to start. And here's what I know. Y plus 9. I know I'm standing in your way and you can't see. There we go. We know the point, but we don't know the slope. So let's find the slope. We'll bring it down. So 5y equals -3x plus 1. We're going to divide by 5, and we're going to have -3/5 x plus 1/5. All right, yay, we found our slope. Yay, no. Okay, we don't want these lines to be parallel. We want them to be perpendicular. And in case you forgot, perpendicular lines are, wordy, negative reciprocals of each other, meaning I'm going to reciprocate. I'm going to flip the fraction over and I'm going to change its sign. So perpendicular slopes are negative reciprocals. It doesn't mean make it negative, it means change its sign. Negate it. If it's negative, it becomes positive. If it's positive, it becomes negative. So my slope, but not the one I'm looking for, is -3/5. My perpendicular slope, that's what I'm looking for. And I'm going to use the perpendicular symbol. It's like a upside down capital T. Perpendicular slope is the opposite sign, and reciprocate that thing. So 5/3. We'll come over here with our 5/3. We'll solve this thing for y. So y, let's stretch this one out an extra step. 5/3 x. Okay, 5/3 times 6. Well, we know it's a negative. 5/3 times -6. That gives us 30 divided by 3. That's 10. A lot of room for error if we skip too many steps, right? Right. There we go. Okay, the next one is going to look kind of similar in the way it's worded, but it's not. Okay, the process is going to look different, and you're probably thinking, all right, slope-intercept, point slope form. I love point slope form. It's great. Yeah, I agree. We don't need it on this next one, and we don't need it on the last one either. So here goes. What is the equation of the line through 12, -2? So let me write that down. The equation of a line through 12, -2, and it passes through, it's perpendicular to y equals 4. perpendicular to y equals 4. Okay, well, let's think about this. The last problem had an equation that was like 5y plus 3x minus 1, and that's a line that's diagonal, okay? This is the line y equals 4. Y equals 4 is a horizontal line. It would cross the y-axis at 4. Let's draw. These are the easy ones if you know how to identify them, and you can just kind of look at it and say, oh, I can visualize this and get the answer. So let me grab a marker, different color marker, and we're going to just draw this one. So x-axis, y-axis, I hope you know that. And we're going to cross the y-axis at 4. So my graph, the actual graph, and I will use this pink marker here, the actual graph of y equals 4 is there. So y equals 4, yay. But I want a graph that is perpendicular to that. Okay, well, if it's going to be perpendicular to that, then it's going to go this way. If it goes this way, it's going to cross the x-axis and not the y-axis, unless it is the y-axis, but we won't play that game. I want it to go through 12 comma negative 2. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, negative 2. Okay, my final answer will be a green line. It's good to have an assortment of markers off camera. It's great. So it's going to go through that point. Perpendicular. Here's the line they gave me. Here's the line that I want. It's perpendicular. So that's it right there. Okay? Well, you can write your point slope for them, but don't play that game because the slope of that is undefined. And when you start playing with undefined slopes, you might get hurt. So just don't. Here's the thing. This is a vertical line. Vertical lines cross the x-axis. Where does this cross the x-axis? 12. So from the very beginning, if we could visualize this, we would just say, oh, let's see, perpendicular to a horizontal line, it must be a vertical line. Vertical lines cross the x-axis. I'm crossing x at 12. That's it. Okay. Next problem is going to be very similar. So the next problem says, right, what is the equation of a line through 2, negative 7? Okay, so 2, negative 7. 2, comma, negative 7. Sorry, you had to hear me take the lid off that thing right in front of the microphone. This has the microphone on it. 2, negative 7, and it's parallel to x equals negative 14. So parallel to x equals negative 14. Okay, let's use the shortcut, and then we're going to use the, oh my goodness, I really need to visualize this long cut. And that'll take a day and a half. There we go. Parallel to a vertical line is a vertical line. Vertical lines cross the x-axis. Here's your x-axis. I'm going to cross the x-axis. Where do I cross the x-axis? 2. Done. X equals 2. But if you need to visualize it, hang tight for just a second. And here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There we go. And so our original line is here. If you've got this and you want to go ahead and stop the video, feel free. But I'm just having so much fun, I can't stop. 2, negative 7 is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's going to go at that point. And so it's a vertical line that crosses the x-axis at 2. Done. We got it. Here we go.